Welcome everyone, Nancy Halasic here with you once again for another yoga class. We're going to be taping 2 more classes for you, 2 for the chair class, 2 for the intermediate or MAD class, so that way you'll have 6 different classes to kind of move through over the next few months until we can finally be back together again. So again, hope these are helpful to you. Remember, the city also has 2 exercise classes offered. That'll get your aerobic rate up a bit, your heart rate up a bit more, so use those as you choose. And there's also a wonderful British history class online as well. So take advantage of all these different classes. They should help you get through this time. Again, good to be with you. And we'll start down on the mat as we usually do. We're going to focus a little bit more on back strengthening today. We did a little bit more on the chair class for that as well. But we know that this time of year we've done a lot of raking, a lot of yard work, and now we have the snow shoveling coming a bit too early this year, but it is what it is. So we need to keep the back really strong. And the back is an area that can cause lots of us a bit of problem at some point in our lives, so really important to concentrate on that. And one thing you can do to help yourself is just whenever you're standing, sitting, or walking, just to try to really contract your core muscles. Just think of pulling everything in, kind of like you're in a wetsuit and you're zipping that wetsuit up so that whole core of the body is kept nice and tight. But we'll go down to the mat and we'll go into the opening relaxation. You can use a yoga roll down, which is just to have the feet on the mat, the legs bent, and then you just slowly release yourself down. And then extend the legs out and allow those legs to go away from the midline of the body just a bit. And your arms and hands can go out to the side as well. This is called corpse pose or Shavasana. We're just trying to mimic a corpse, just quiet the body completely. Palms can be up if you feel like you'd like to receive a little more energy here, or palms down if you're feeling a little anxious today and you want to ground yourself a little more. So do what is right for you today. And then again, we just close the eyes and move inward to that place of peacefulness and stillness within. Letting go of the outside world for the next hour or so, and just focusing on what we're doing and what we're feeling. Building inner awareness. So release the physical body first. Notice if you're holding contractions anywhere in the body right now, and now we're going to completely release. And then we'll quiet the mind. We want to let go of any concerns from the outside world for the next hour or so. So just imagine your mind is like a pool of still water. And visualize that pool of still water. See if your mind can become like that pool of still water. Bring your awareness deeper inside. Be comfortable with that inner awareness, that peacefulness. And we'll stay in this quiet place for just a few more moments. Let's bring our awareness back now to the room, to this place and time. We're going to draw the legs back together and we'll have the feet flexed. We move into our full body stretch. We're going to take those arms overhead on the mat, but if you do have shoulder issues, remember you can keep the arms just down by the sides of the body and then try to extend through the sternum and the crown of the head. If you don't have shoulder issues though, we'll sweep those arms overhead. Allow the backs of the hands to rest on the floor and then press out through your heels, reach with your fingertips. Kind of walk those arms out, walk those heels out. Full body stretch. Take a few nice deep breaths here. Breathe, relax, and feel what's going on in the body. And then just completely release and feel the difference between stretching and then releasing. And then we'll draw the legs back together. This time we're going to point the toes so we get a slightly different stretch. The fronts of the feet, the ankles, and the shins, a slightly different stretch. Again, reaching away, walking those arms out, stretching through the toe tips. And then again, release for a few seconds. And then we'll take the arms back down by the hips and walk the feet in towards the buttocks. Here you can lift up for just a moment, resettle the back, make sure it's in a good place. And then you're going to draw the legs up into the torso. Again, hold your shins. If you have knee problems, hold the backs of the thighs and draw those legs in as close to the chest as you can. This will give the low back area a really nice stretch. And then come back to center. And you can hold on to your shins or your thighs, rock back and forth a little bit side to side. Again, massaging the low back area, and then do some circular patterns. Again, the minute my back starts feeling off, if it feels like it might give out, if I've been lifting heavy things, even if I think I've been mindful, you can usually sense when something is going wrong. So if you can get down on the floor and roll the back out, that's a good thing, a good place to start. Again, this can be done on a bed as well. These early morning exercises you can do before you get out of bed, but really to work the low back well, or the back well, a harder surface like the floor with carpeting or your yoga mat is a good place to be. Coming back to center, now we cup our hands over the knees and do these hip circles, knee circles, whatever you'd like to call them. Again, thighs, buttocks, hips, low back, all connected. So we need to keep all of those muscles nice and flexible and strong at the same time. Coming back to center. Let's take the hands down to the mat and extend those legs up. Do your bicycle movements. And then you can point and flex the feet. Here's something you can do that will create more space in your ankle, which is good. When you're doing these ankle movements, hold on to the calf. Do one side at a time. Hold on to the calf and pull down just a bit. So just above the ankle here. And then point and flex. And do your rotations. Think of all the compression that those ankles get through your day-to-day activities. So nice to create a little more space in there. And then you can go to the other side and do some circular patterns, pointing, flexing, whatever. And then you can work the knees a little bit. Just do a gentle knee massage with the legs up in the air like this. And then let's extend the fingertips upward and just scissors the arms and the legs and open and close the hands a little bit, warming the body up. A lot of warm-ups and range of motion exercises in these classes. Come back to center. Your hands can come back to the mat. Let's point the toes, draw those legs out wide in a V,
And then flex the feet, lead with your heels. By flexing the feet, leading with your heels, you're going to feel more of a stretch on the inner thighs. Again, point the toes out, flex in, point out, flex in, point out and flex in. And then you can even extend up, bend the legs, draw the legs together. Up, out, bend, and together. Okay, we'll bring those legs back to the mat. We're going to do some gentle bridges, and we'll do more than we usually do. We'll do pelvic tilts first. So you're just going to allow the back to have its normal curvature, and then on an exhalation, you'll press the sacrum, the low back, into the mat and tilt the pelvic area forward. This is a movement where you keep the body on the mat. You're not lifting the hips up off the mat. And we'll do several more than we usually do. So your inhalation, nice inhalation here, then on the exhalation, press into the mat, tilt forward and up, try to contract all the muscles in the area, pelvic floor as well. And then release, the back takes its normal curvature. Inhaling here, on the exhalation, press the back into the mat, tilt forward and up. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Let's do two more. Okay, let's do our wind relieving posture. We'll take the bent right leg up and in to the torso, shin or the thigh. Left leg is extended and the foot is flexed. And then we'll take that leg more to the side. And we'll come back and release. Taking the left leg up and in. So with these wind relieving postures, we're getting compression on the ascending colon when the right leg is in, descending colon when the left leg is in. Ascending, transverse, descending on the left side. So again, you have the pressure, you have the compression. When you release, you get fresh supply of blood to that part of the body. We'll take that leg out to the side. And then we'll come back and release. We'll do our leg extensions next. So we'll take the strap and strap the right foot. Extend that leg up as far as you can. If you haven't been practicing recently, the muscles in the back of the leg might be really tight, so you can keep a little bit of a bend in the leg. Anytime we do any physical activity, lots of walking, gardening, running, the muscles can get really tight, so just be aware of that. On exhalations, we're going to draw that foot toward the head or over the head. The other side of the body, the left leg can be bent or extended, whatever you choose. Again, deepen on your exhalations. Move in a fluid fashion. We'll hold on to the strap now with the right hand. That right foot, right leg goes out to the right side. And again, you do not have to get all the way down to the floor. Again, left leg bent or extended. Do keep the right shoulder on, or the left shoulder on the mat. If that pops up, it means you need to back away from the posture just a little bit. Your left hip will come up off the mat. And then come back to center. When we're back at center, we take the strap in both hands again, and then we're going to transfer the strap over into the left hand. The right arm goes out. Now take the leg across the body. And this is fine. You can stay right here if you choose. You can go a little bit deeper. Now we want to keep that left shoulder down. If it pops off the mat, then back out of the posture a bit. This is a good time just to take your knuckles and go up and down the outside of that thigh. You have that IT band in here, and this just gently massages that. And remember to drink lots of water to keep all the connective tissues nicely hydrated. We'll come back to center. Take the strap in both hands, come forward again, and then carefully release. Now realign yourself on your back. Strap the left foot, draw that foot up and forward. And then transfer the strap into the left hand. Now the right arm goes out. Let's take that left leg off to the left side slowly. We'll bring it back to center. Again, come forward a little bit, transfer the strap into the right hand, and then cross over. Left arm is down now. Again, you can take your knuckles and just go up and down the outside of that thigh. Again, you could use a tennis ball. Some people have those rubber rollers, which are said to be quite good. If nothing else, you could always use a rolling pin. Let's come back. Take the strap in both hands and come forward. Very good. We're going to continue with back work here while we're on the mat. So we're going to go into Happy Baby now. So we take those legs up, we bend, we see if we can grasp the soles of the feet. If you can't do that, you can take the backs of the thighs, you could grasp your ankles or the soles of the feet. This flattens out the low back area really nicely, stretches you out through the groin area as well. When you're practicing, try to stay in the posture for 3 to 5 long breaths. And then we'll move into a version of Reclining Cobbler. So we'll just take the soles of the feet together. You can cradle the feet in your hands, or you can hold the tops of the feet together here, and your knees go out to the side. You're going to allow your elbows to press gently into those inner thighs to open up the hips even more. And then we're going to release. We're going to do some single leg lifts here, again strengthening the back. Keep the right leg bent, extend the left leg all the way out. You're going to inhale and lift that foot slowly up. Remember that, or imagine that you have extra weight around that ankle. When that foot is overhead, flex it, lead with your heel, and come back down. Again, pointing those toes, coming up. Exhale back down. We'll try 6 of these on each side. So this is 5. And then bend that leg, bringing the foot in. Extend the right leg out, toes are pointed, inhale up. Flex, lead with the heel. Again, inhale up. Exhale down. And the last one on this side. And then come back. Make sure you're nicely aligned. We're just going to do some mini bridges here. So the feet are walked in towards the buttocks. We want to keep those legs very close together. You can press into the soles of the feet and your hands and just come up a bit. Keep your gaze straight above. Do not look side to side when you're in bridge. This is just a mini one. You're going to squeeze your thighs, contract the buttocks, contract through the abdominal area as well. And then release back down. Again, inhale up. Hold and breathe. You're just up on the upper back here. Again, keep the legs close together, contract through the thighs, the buttocks, and the abdominal area. And come back down. And we'll do one more here, pressing up, strengthening. And come back down. And then we're going to roll on over to the right side of the body. You can have your right arm fully extended, or you can bend it and just rest your head on that bent arm. Extend your legs out. Your left hand can be in front of the body just to help you balance. And you're going to have your feet flexed here while we do some leg lifts here on the side. If this is uncomfortable to you, I have 2 yoga mats here, so I'm okay. You could have a folded towel under that hip area. We're just going to raise and lower the left leg here. So the foot is flexed as we begin. And then we'll point the toes. And then we're going to have the feet together and see if we can lift both legs up. Now this can hurt the hip a little bit if you don't have enough padding. And then release those legs down. And then we'll try that again. And we'll come back down. And then we're going to see if we can do a side plank, a modification of a side plank. So for this, you're going to want to have your elbow underneath your shoulder, right elbow under the right shoulder, right palm down, left hand in front of the body. Keep your feet stacked and then press up and see if you can lift your arm up as well. This can be done with the feet pressed into the wall. It will give you a little more stability. And then come back down. And then we'll transition over to the other side of the body and work it as well. So let's come down and do our leg lifts first. Try to get in a nice alignment here. And the feet are flexed as we begin. So do 6 or more. You can always do more when you're practicing at home. And then the toes pointed. And then we'll see if we can lift both of those legs up off the floor. And come down. And then we'll go into a modified
plank on this side as well. So the left elbow is under your left shoulder now. The feet are stacked. Your right hand is in front of the body. And then just press up. And you're in side plank. A little bit harder for me on this side. If I have problems with my back, it's usually the left lower back. So I can tell it's not quite as strong as the other side. So I will continue to work on this. You can keep your hand on the mat if you'd like, and just see if you can lift those hips up. Okay. So, another posture that is really good for the back. Cat-cow movement. So the knees are underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. On an inhalation, we take the gaze up. On the exhalation, we round into cat. So inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Let's do 2 more. And then we'll do thread the needle, which nicely stretches out the back. So you can take your hand in a little bit more towards the middle of the mat. Try to keep it fairly aligned with your shoulder. You're going to inhale and sweep off to the right. On the exhalation, take that right arm and hand underneath the left and try to bring your ear and your shoulder, your right ear and your right shoulder to the mat. And then we'll press up. Let's take that right hand in just a little bit. Inhale and twist to the left. On the exhalation, bring your left ear and left shoulder to the mat. And then press up, all the way up again, and back to center. And then we'll use downward facing dog to come up to standing. So I'm going to walk my knees back a bit, curl my toes under, and press up into down dog. Buttocks up and back, inside of the elbows turned forward just a bit, and hang out here in down dog for a few moments. If you'd like, you can lift the heels, alternate lifting the heels and walk the dog a little bit. And then just walk the feet in towards the wrists. Take your hands to your shins now and come up slowly. Lift through the heart center and bring yourself upright. Always come up slowly after being inverted. So we've nicely worked out the lower part of the body. Let's concentrate now on flexibility through the upper part of the body. So we'll start with our shoulder shrugs. Again, simple movements. I get up out of bed in the morning after I've done a few stretches and warm-ups in bed, and this is the first thing I do. Always feels so good, especially if you're spending a lot of time on your different electric devices. So again, go forward, go back. And then we always want to set those shoulders back and down. Again, when we're standing in yoga, we're standing in the mountain pose of Tadasana. So the feet are grounded to the earth. Just think of them as being the bedrock of the mountain. You have nice, strong legs supporting you. And then you gently tuck the tailbone, pull the navel in toward the spine, lift through the sternum, lift through the crown of the head, and release those shoulders back and down. A little mantra for us is sit tall, stand tall, walk tall, a way to benefit the spine as well. Let's do a few sun breaths here, arms out to the side. Inhale up, exhale down. Again, inhale up, exhale down. Wiggle your fingers and your thumbs. This time add your wrist rotations. Sweeping those arms overhead, bring the hands together in prayer position. Bring them back in front of the heart center. Inhaling up now, exhale out and around. Try to really feel that life force moving through you. You might feel a bit of a tingly feeling in the limbs when the body gets nicely oxygenated. And then we'll come back to center. Let's work the shoulders a bit more. Just place your hands on the tops of the shoulders. Come forward and go in reverse. Elbows in and out. Elbows up and down. And then release. And then let's just open and close the hands. See if you can get them to be nice and pink or rosy colored. Warm them up. Scissors. Thumbs back and forth. Thumbs rotated. Interlacing the fingers, roll out your wrists. Recross, do that again. And then come back to center. Keep the fingers interlaced, tug. And then recross and tug again. And then palms together in prayer position. On an inhalation, we'll press up, open towards the sky. On the exhalation, come back down. And then let's work the neck. So we're standing tall, the neck is long. We're going to tuck the chin toward the chest. Again, we'll keep a little bit of space between the chin and the chest. Shoulders back and down. With the chin still tucked, you can rotate it towards the left shoulder. Hold over here and breathe. Come back to center, rotate the chin toward the right shoulder now. Hold over here and breathe. And come back. And then we'll start looking up and down. On the inhalation, scoop your chin forward and up. On the exhalation, come back down. Again, inhale, scoop forward and up. Exhale back down. And one more here. And then come up so your chin is parallel to the floor. Let's look side to side. Right side first. Inhale, take your gaze off over that right shoulder. And then over time you can see if you can get your gaze farther back, but if your neck is stiff or sore, just do your best here. And then come back to center. Inhale and look to your left. Hold here. And then come back to center. Then we'll take the ears towards the shoulders. So we'll go to the right side first. Inhale up and over, right ear moving toward the right shoulder. Keep the left shoulder down, then you'll feel that really nice stretch all the way from your ear to the shoulder. You should feel it in the front of the chest and the upper back as well. And then lift and come back. Inhale up and over now, left ear going toward the left shoulder. And remember just to try and work these exercises into your day-to-day life. Again, having strong legs can help support the low back area too. So we're going to do several different versions of the chair posture. For the first one, just take hold of your hands behind the body, stand tall, and then just take the buttocks back and down and sit on the chair. That's not there. You can extend those arms out a little bit if you want to interlace your fingers, you can. And again, in a perfect world, when we're bending into a chair posture, you'd like to be able to see your toes. Press up and release, do a shoulder shrug. Different placements of the arms. Again, if you have shoulder issues, you can just stack your forearms together. You can hold on to your shoulders. Let's try doing chair with the hands in this position. Again, keep your knees and toes tracking ahead here. Deep inhalation. On the exhalation, softly bend those knees, buttocks back and down. And again, you're sitting on that imaginary chair. Pressing up carefully and releasing. Remember, the hands can be at the thighs, stacked, shoulders, or overhead. Now we'll go overhead. Nice inhalation here. On the exhalation, buttocks back and down. Sit on the chair that's not there. You could have a block between your thighs here if you wanted to strengthen the inner thighs a little bit more. Come up. Let's take the hands into Namaste position and we'll add a twist here. Again, on the exhalation, buttocks back and down. Now let's twist to our right. So your left elbow comes to the top of the right knee or thigh. Your right elbow goes up to the floor and up to the ceiling, and your gaze is off to your right here. You can press those palms together. Come back to center and press up. And then we'll go to the left side. So we come down, hands are in prayer position, twist to the left, right elbow to the top of the right thigh or knee, left elbow up towards the ceiling, and the gaze can be to the side or up. Come back to center and press on up and release. Let's take a sun breath here. Hands to the thighs. Now let's go into Hanuman. Pressing the sit bones back. We stay in Hanuman with the torso parallel to the floor if we are worried about excess pressure in the eyes, if we're congested or dizzy, or if we have untreated high blood pressure. This is a good place to stay. Otherwise, we'll move into the full stretch of the back side of the body, Uttanasana, forward fold, releasing the head down. You can have a block in front of the feet or at the sides of the feet if you'd like. And just release the head down. You can hold on to your ankles. Try to pull the torso a little closer to your shins. Coming out, we'll take the hands to the shins. We're coming up slowly. Years ago, we were taught to come up, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Well, in recent years, it's found that that's not so good for the spine. So a good way to come up is to make yourself parallel to the floor. Then hands to your thighs. Lead with your heart center as you bring yourself up slowly, and then into another sun breath here. And then we'll move into Warrior Two. And then as we come out of Warrior Two, we'll move into the triangle position. Sometimes with triangle, you have a little bit shorter stance. So if you want to move your feet a little closer in when we're doing triangle, you can. Again, you want your feet parallel as you begin. Slight tuck to the tailbone, strong core. And arms come out, shoulder height, reaching away from the midline of the body, opening up the heart center. This is called 5-point star. Your left foot will turn in a bit, your right foot will turn away from the body, from the midline completely, and then gaze out over your forward fingertips. Try to keep that back arm at the same height as the forward one. There's a tendency for it to drop down. Gazing over the right fingertips, nice deep inhalation, and then as you exhale, just softly bend that forward leg. Over time, we'd like to get that lower or inner thigh parallel to the floor, but we're accepting of where we are right now. And the warrior postures teach us to be strong and to be resilient. And we need that strength and resilience at this point in time. Breathe deeply. Press the forward leg up. Now here, if you need, you can step the feet a little closer together. We'll float the arms out. Now we're just going to reach with those right fingertips. That way you elongate the underside of the body. So reach as far as you can and then just tip towards that forward leg. And it's not important to get that hand all the way down to the ankle or the foot. It's more important that you have the shoulders pretty much stacked, one on top of each other here. Again, a triangle pose. So triangle between the legs, between the forward arm and the leg. And then if you drew a line, imaginary line from your upper fingertips to your hip, you'd have that third triangle. Happy heart pose, said to increase circulation to the low back area. We'll press up, we'll turn the feet parallel, and we'll just rest here briefly. Again, feel the effects of the posture on one side of the body. Just take a moment to be aware. And then we'll work the other side. 5-point star, right foot in now, left foot turning away, gazing out over those left fingertips. Nice deep inhalation here, and then on the exhalation, softly bend that forward leg. Proud warrior 2. And then press up and tip into triangle. Again, reach with those left fingertips. And breathe. Press up, turn the feet parallel. Let's go into a wide-angled forward fold. Bending at the hip crease, taking the fingertips down to the floor. Stay here, again, if you have those issues I spoke of earlier. This is called the pyramid pose, and it's a good stretch for the backs of the legs. If you don't have those issues, round your head down towards the floor. Your hands can come to the insides of the feet. You can grasp the soles of the tops of the feet if you'd like, or even turn your hands back if you'd like. Getting to see the world from a different perspective here. This is really good for the neck. Think of the weight of the head pulling down, creating space in the cervical spine. And then we're going to walk the hands out in front of us and just do our heels and toes, heels and toes, heels and toes. And then when you can, bring yourself up carefully, leading with the heart center. Come into another sun breath here. And then let's do a little bit of warrior 1. So we stand tall. We can have the hands at the hips. We're going to step back with the left foot and turn those left toes just a bit out to the side and have the right foot tracking ahead, squaring your hips and your shoulders forward. Again, with shoulder issues, just keep the arms down, perhaps at your hips, or just out to the side a little bit. Otherwise, we'll come overhead, do a nice back bend on your inhalation, and then on the exhalation, just softly bend that forward leg. Keep breathing. and then press up. From here, we'll go into a forward triangle bend. Your hands can be at your hips. You can hold on to your forearms behind the body if you choose. Again, on an inhalation, just a nice, gentle back bend. On the exhalation, come upright, bend at the hip crease, and come forward and down. Okay to bend that forward leg a little bit. Okay to release your hands to the mat. And then just try to get your head a little bit closer to that forward leg. Then you can extend it fully if you choose. And then you can bring yourself carefully back up. And we'll step the feet together. And we'll go into warrior on the other side. Left foot tracking ahead. Right foot turned out to the side just a bit. Again, hands can be here if you choose, or overhead. Again, on the inhalation, a slight back bend. On the exhalation, bend that forward leg. Proud warrior 1, confident and strong. Press up, move into forward triangle bend. Nice inhalation. Come upright and forward and down. Again, stay parallel to the floor if you need to. Release your hands to the floor if you need to. And then we'll press on up and release. Then we're going to go back to the mat and do a little bit more work for strengthening the back. So we'll extend out here again and get our full body stretch. And then we'll come into the Sphinx Posture, which is a very gentle back bend. We have the elbows under the shoulders here, the forearms and the palms down. And walk the feet away here. And then press down through the abdominal and pelvic area. Press into your hands and your forearms and just lift through the heart center and the crown of the head. And this is Sphinx. So just by pressing the abdomen into the mat and lifting through the heart center, you're creating space in the spine and you're strengthening the muscles around the spine. So the gentlest of the back bending work. From here, we'll go into Cobra. You can take your hands down a little bit farther, maybe by the shoulders or just beneath them slightly, and come up. Gazing up. Try to get the upper thighs off the floor a bit. And then release back down. Let's take the left ear to the mat and turn to the right and take the hands back down by our hips away from the body a little bit. And we'll do some different versions of Locust. So first we'll start just by lifting that left leg up a bit. And down. And then the right leg up. And down. Let's do the left again. And down. And the right. And down. And then we're going to tuck the tailbone, press the pubic bone into the mat, and see if we can lift the upper torso and then take the legs up as well. And then come back down. You can bend the legs at this point and rock them from side to side. You can do some circular patterns if you'd like. And then come back to center and carefully press back up into tabletop. And then take the knees apart, toes together. Slowly press back into child's pose. And we'll stay extended here in child's pose for just a moment. Feel that good stretch.
I can really feel this in the low back area. If you'd like, you can rock the hips from side to side. That should feel pretty good. But just hang out here for a while. And then take the hands back by the hips, palms up, and just release the head down to the mat for child's pose. And then we'll come carefully up and we'll move into the staff pose of Dandasana. Just a few more movements here before we go into the final Shavasana. So for Dandasana, another good way to strengthen the spine, we'll add a twist. You think of the muscles pulling on the bones and strengthening the body in that way. So legs are extended, feet are flexed. Let's float those arms out. Nice deep inhalation here. On the exhalation, twist to your right. Left hand takes the outside of your right leg and your right arm goes out behind you. And then you can come back to center. Taking the arms out, again, inhale and elongate. Exhale and rotate now to your left. Right hand taking the outside of the left leg, left arm going out behind you. And then we'll come back to center. Another way to strengthen the legs is to sit in Dandasana and just lift your right foot and right leg a few inches off the floor. Then come back down, and then the left leg. And down. Let's go back to the mat and do the bridge posture. We'll try the full bridge posture. Again, back strengthening work. So a yoga roll down. Get down to the mat, then walk the feet in. Remember, in bridge, you want the legs close together. You want your gaze straight above you. Don't turn side to side, or you can compromise the neck again. Hands close into the sides of the body for this first bridge. We're going to press on up like we did in the mini bridge, and then we're going to see if we can tuck the shoulder blades underneath the body. You can make a fist underneath the body if you'd like. And then see if you can press up just a bit more. And then carefully release, untuck your shoulders, come back down. Let's press back up. Again, you can interlace the hands underneath the body if you'd like. Perhaps if you have the reach, you can grasp your heels or your ankles. Again, keep the gaze above you and press up. Check to see that the legs are still close together, contracting through the thighs, through the buttocks. And then carefully releasing. And let's draw those legs in again, roll out the back, and we'll move into our final twist here. So let's keep those legs hugged tightly together, arms out to the side. Nice inhalation. On the exhalation, release those legs off to the left side, stacking them on top of each other. You could use a block or a cushion over here as well, a yoga blanket. And then either gaze above you. Now, in this position, you can turn your head if you'd like. You can look over your right fingertips. And then with the head back at center, bring up the upper bent leg. Then the lower one can come up to meet it, releasing those feet to the mat and realigning. And then drawing those legs in tightly again. This time, we'll release them off to the right side. Gaze above you or over your left, fingertips now. And then bring the upper leg up, lower leg up, release the feet to the mat, realign, and move into the final Shavasana. Remember, at this point in time, you can cover up the body with a blanket or a towel, a sweatshirt, whatever works for you, but so that you stay nice and warm during Shavasana. I'll stay seated myself. So we're going to close the eyes, again moving inward, feeling the effects of the movements that we've done here today, the postures that we've held, and honoring ourselves for doing that work to strengthen the body, to keep it flexible, to keep it balanced. Again, with each exhalation, we allow the physical body to relax a little bit more deeply. We visualize the energy channels within us being open, with life force energy called prana, circulating beautifully throughout the entire physical body, reaching every cell within us, washing over internal organs and systems. With each exhalation, feel the physical body sink a little bit deeper into your mat and deeper into a state of relaxation. Feel very safe, feel very secure on your mat. The body is quiet. The mind is quiet like a beautiful mountain lake. The surface is calm and reflective. The water is cool and clear. Relax deeper and deeper down. With the mind and body relaxed, our gaze turns towards the heart center. Take a moment to feel the warmth within your own heart center. Acknowledge your goodness and your worth, and then allow a beautiful light to radiate outward from that heart center. Remember the heart center as that place of empathy, compassion, and love, and safety, peacefulness, and stillness. Reside in this stillness now for a few more moments, breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll gently draw the hands together at the heart center. You can come out of Shavasana, come up into a seated position if you choose. Hands together at the heart center. You can connect the thumbs with the heart center and bow the head if you choose. You can affirm silently after me if you choose. My body is healthy and strong. My mind is clear.
my heart is open. May we always acknowledge and always honor the spark of divinity, or the goodness and the light that does reside within each and every one of us. And our soul-to-soul greeting and parting, Namaste. And Namaste just means the goodness and the light that resides within me sees, acknowledges, and honors the goodness and the light that resides within you. Thanks so much for practicing with me again. I hope to see you soon, and please stay safe and well. Namaste.